Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our first YANGTime webinar of 2017. I'm pleased to welcome Dana Manciagli, who's going to present today on networking. Dana was our speaker during our Yang Town Hall this past November at our Apex events, so we're thrilled to welcome her back. As always, as you think of your questions, please go ahead and type them into the question box on the right side of your screen, and we'll address those as we can get to them. And as always, there will be a Q&A session at the end of the presentation, and I will let Dana take over. Enjoy the webinar.
Thank you so much, Katie, and everybody. I apologize. I woke up with laryngitis. I feel great, but I sound terrible. So I'm going to do the best job I can, and this is what you got for today. But we'll do the best in answering your questions all the way throughout and at the end. So what we'd like to do is invite you to type in your questions in the question section of your GoToWebinar. Now, right now, I want to be sure that you can all see my screen, so I'm going to page forward, and Katie, feel free to advise if you see the purple slide, and then we can move forward from there.
It looks good.
Great. Well, I'd like to do a brief introduction for those I didn't meet at the Yang event, at the Apex show. And my background has been 3 decades in both corporations and startups. And I've had a nice zigzag career. And starting out of grad school 30 years ago, I sold for IBM. I went on to Avery Dennison and then Sealand, and then was finally director of marketing at Kodak. And then a .com called Imagex, and my latest 12 years at Microsoft Corporation in sales as GM of worldwide sales. For the past 4 years, I've been consulting on networking and career management, both privately and through my book and an online course. But I'm here today to help you network. As I said, please type your questions in as you get them, and I'll try to look at them, but we'll also open it up at the end. And this is networking for professional and business success. What's so important is to know how to network and why to network, how to develop a great networking plan, the types and techniques of networking, and, of course, tricks and mistakes so you can avoid them.
Dana, did we lose you?
Thank you, Katie. I'm here. And first of all, don't be Brad. Elizabeth worked with Brad for five years ago, and they just haven't kept in touch. But now Brad learned that Elizabeth is someone she wants to meet. Excuse me, Elizabeth is someone Brad wants to meet. So check out the way that Brad is connecting with her. It's way too informal, right? You don't want to pick your brain about opportunities with your firm. Let's do coffee. And I want to talk about coffee for a minute before we really get into this. Starbucks is the worst place to meet clients, prospects, networking. Any coffee shop, it's loud, there are no seats. So please pick different venues, go to their office. But I'm really passionate about let's do coffee. So don't be Brad. Now, is this you? Pamela and Sharon. They're both sales executives. They both went to an evening networking event hosted by the local Chamber of Commerce, which are great events. And it started at 6, but they strolled in about 7 p.m. They got a drink, found an empty table, kind of talked about life. And Sharon met one person, and that was about it. On the way home, they both agreed it was a terrible waste of time. And I hear this all the time, Deanna. These meet and greet things are just a waste of time. And they can be. It's up to you on how you use them. Wow, every time I turn a page, we seem to go a little wonky, so that's why you're seeing the hesitation. Okay, and poor Charles. Charles is 42. He's new to Chicago, as some of you may be, new to your cities, and he has a big quota to fill. He's trying to meet new prospects and develop a pipeline, but he's spending all day either on his computer or calling the switchboard or trying to reach someone to talk to. And after 6 months, he's frustrated, he's not hitting his quota, and he's insecure about his ability to meet his numbers. Don't be Charles. All of the above have one thing in common. They haven't learned how to network for success. They don't really appreciate the discipline, the preparation, and the professionalism, and the fact that it's a process. So I want to share with you steps to change your game. There are 4 of them. And I'm going to go into some of them deeper than others. Now, by the way, we will record, because of my voice, I'm going to record this again with a normal, strong voice, and we will share that back with you. So please stay connected, ask questions. You will get a lot out of this, but also you'll have a second chance and a third. So have a networking plan. What is your mission? Given your role, given your stage in your career, do you want to find people who can help you learn, who can point you to resources, who can introduce you to someone else? And I bet for most of you, you need sales, or you want to find prospects or business partners, mergers, alliance partners. Okay, so if you have specific business goals, I'm going to help you reach them. So you have a networking plan handout. It's in the handouts section of this webinar. You can go to handouts anytime and download this as well as a PDF of this presentation. And it looks like this. In the left column, what are your business goals? And be really clear. I need to meet 10 prospects by next Friday. I need to go and meet new people who are in my industry and connect with them and learn a lot more. Okay, now also list people you know, and of course from Yang. I hope you're all connected via LinkedIn and you're able to do a sort of all of your contacts using LinkedIn or another mechanism. So there's where your Yang peers and your Apex peers are. Now, who do you need to meet? And again, you don't necessarily know their names, but you know you want the head buyer at General Motors, or you want the buyer of brakes at this company. So that's when you list what new types of people you need to go out and meet, total strangers. And there's a great, easy way, and I'm going to show that to you. So there are various ways to find strangers, and I use that in a very positive sense. I want you to be looking forward to meeting complete strangers and not only rely on people you know. The one way is face-to-face networking, and that's those big dreaded events or one-on-one meetings. And these are not always easy. They're like cold calling. It's not always interesting, and it's very awkward. It also can be a waste of time if you go to if you go to the wrong event, let's say you go to an event about the beverage industry like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and there's nobody there who has any relation to anything you're doing. That's a mistake of picking the location, the actual event. But if you're in marketing, it would be great to go to American Marketing Association meetings where you meet other people in your function, but they're not in your industry. So just be selective. So seek out those events that tie to your business goal. Look to participate on a SIG. These are within the Chamber of Commerce or within other organizations such as Apex. Yang is a SIG, for example. Industry awards, go to those and network before the awards start. So live events, webinars, look at the names of, you can find out who attended this and who you want to network with, dinner meetings, etc. There's so many. Now, one way to find them all is in your U.S. Business Journal. There are 42 of these across the U.S., and I hope your business will support the low subscription to this for you to get your finger on the pulse of your local market. So they all differ. This is Seattle's, but they have them in 42 major cities. And you not only should read your business journal week after week, but it has wonderful events and email blasts that come to you, so you'll find leads and ideas of your industry and other industries. Now please write this down because, and it's in your PowerPoint, but if you're interested, it's only $85 a year with this discount they gave me for Yang. And that is, I built a short URL here. So not only, so you get the business journal and you get the book of lists, which lists all the companies in your backyard. It's fabulous. It's your Bible. And it has people on the move and events. It's filled with rich information. So please invest in yourself if your company won't pay, but I'm sure they'll look at it as a great resources for leads and for new ideas. Now let's talk about the #1 way to network and to meet total strangers. But I'm going to give you, and that's online networking. And it's great for those of you who are in jobs where you're in inside sales, or you don't have a travel budget, or you cross territories. Maybe you're responsible for the country or the world. Whatever your position is, this is a lot more not only effective but efficient. And I say here, I apologize, Katie, I say while job searching, just this is not about job searching. This is while doing your job. So that was something I wanted to edit out. And I'm now going to go right into LinkedIn. And I'm going to give you a demo and show you some tricks. It is your most important resource for networking, for your business, for your professional life. It's got to be job one. So I want you to block time if you're not involved with LinkedIn and active, not just having a profile, but much more. Then please block time make time for your career and your profession to get going on it. And if you think you're great at it, I want you to get greater, get to fluency, get really advanced. So the challenge here is that you have a profile and you connect with people you know. That's probably where most of you are. Yeah, I know LinkedIn. Most people say, Dan, I'm great on LinkedIn. My profile's at 100%. And I've connected with all my ex-bosses, my ex-college buddies. So, but I'm really not getting much value out of it. So let's clear some basics just about your profile even. Some basics are missing from most profiles. The URL, is your URL customized to just your name? Have you gotten rid of all those digits at the end of the URL? You do that right in your profile. And Do you have a nice photo? And it doesn't have to be taken professionally, but you need to look professional. So if there's like an arm hanging off your shoulder in a bar and you've cut it off, right, that's not a good photo. Not your kids, no dogs, all our fabulous puppies and kittens. This isn't Facebook, and so you want your photo to be when your client goes to LinkedIn to check you out, you want it to look like how you are at work, so have a good one taken. The headline, that's the one right below your name, and it doesn't have to just state sales associate at BBB company. It can say brake specialist, aftermarket expert, so you can really expand that headline to 2 lines. Be sure your location is in there, the industry. Most people have personal contact information when it should be your work. And in the summary section of your profile, be sure to talk about your company. Clip things from your website and promote your company and talk about how great your job is and what you do. Because that's what your clients are where they're going, your prospects, and your industry peers. So please elaborate on your profile. Now, I'm going to skip forward to my favorite tool, and this is how to search and find prospects, customers, total strangers, and it's the advanced button. And I want you to learn how to search companies and find people, and then you connect with them. So I'm going to show you an example right now. This advanced button pulls up this wonderful panel and where you get to narrow your search. And you can search by geography, by your industry using keywords, by title of a person. You're looking for a buyer, then you type buyer. You don't need to know their name. As a matter of fact, it's perfect when you don't, because you'll explore all kinds of people, management, senior, find the CEO, try to figure out who the senior managers are, and of course you can look by company. So some best practices, and then I'm going to actually do one live with you. So of course, a ticket to play is have a professional LinkedIn profile. If you don't need to hire someone. LinkedIn has great tutorials right in LinkedIn, and there are other freebies, of course, gazillions on the web. Then build a relevant network, and by relevant, the days are gone where you feel you should know someone or have met them. Just connect with your Yang peers, people you read about in your trade publications. If you read a great speech and someone's influential, then go to LinkedIn and connect with them. You're growing your network. You don't have to know them, and they don't have to know you. You'll build a professional reputation. For those of you who like to write blogs or want to forward other blogs, then get involved with LinkedIn posts, and you can post information. You can get it cleared by your company too. Be sure it's matching their strategy, and start sharing information about case studies and success stories, things you've been part of. And I'm going to show you how to do great research, but there's so much there. And then, most importantly, how not to use LinkedIn, meaning get out of LinkedIn as soon as possible to network, to connect with people, to email, to talk to them. So use LinkedIn as a database to get names and learn about people, but it's not the place to engage yet. That may change in 5 years, but right now, not enough people use it or look at it often enough. So, and I'm going to reinforce that in a moment. Okay. Here's a role play. So I picked a scenario, and I hope it's somewhat relevant, but it is just that. It is a scenario because I want to bring in a few pieces. I tried a few scenarios, but this is the one I landed on. So first, you are all now officially a rep, manufacturer's rep. You either work directly for the company as in sales, an account manager, an account executive, or maybe you're in even marketing. Or you're a rep for 10 lines. So the first, this doesn't really matter, but you're in sales, and your territory is not a given state or geography, but it's to get into online marketplaces such as Amazon. And you know Amazon is not just B2C, business to consumer, but has a huge B2B business and even has stores on Amazon, of course. So not just Amazon, but also other specialty online distributors and specialty in the aftermarket of auto parts, for example. And your job, what you're paid commission on, is to find the buyers of your products, and your products happen to be starters and alternators. Okay, so you have a target list. You know who the big players are. You know who the regional ones are online. If you don't, you can find that online, of course, and using your business journals. So you have a target list, but so what? Amazon's a huge company, employs hundreds of thousands of people, but you need a pipeline. You need to start contacting people and engaging and meeting and seeing who your competition is online and how do you get on there. So I'm going to take Amazon just as an example. I know it's big, and that's why I picked it, because there's too many people. It's daunting. And I just gave us a picture of kind of the department in Amazon that you might want to look for. So I'm going to exit out and go to my internet. Here we go. And here I am. Okay, I'm getting some signals that you may not be seeing this, so I'm going to, Katie, if you want to chat with me or sign in, can you see my LinkedIn screen, my internet? Otherwise, I'll change something in. Okay, show app is paused. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to show my screen. This should help. There we go. Now I know you can see it. Thank you. And I'm just letting you know that I don't see. Okay, okay, good. Thomas, thank you. Thomas, can you hop into questions again and tell me if you see my LinkedIn now? Thank you, sir. I don't see any other questions in the question manager, so feel free at any time to toss your questions in there. So now here I am in LinkedIn. I'm on my own PC, and here I am sitting here. I have no idea who to contact in Amazon. So first, step one is check your own network. So how do I do that? So I'm just going to type Amazon. If I know anybody who works at Amazon, let's just do that. I'm not even in advanced, because when you just type a company name, what's going to happen is, of course, the website, and then it'll start with all the people I know in Amazon. It'll start with my firsts, like these are people that I'm connected to, and then it'll go into seconds. So first of all, when you just type Amazon, check this out. 230,854 people. That's ridiculous, right? And that's ex-Amazon, that's current Amazon. So I just want to check who I know as firsts. That's a first relationship. They're connected with me. A second means that someone I know knows them, but I just want to see my firsts. And I still know 107 because I live in Seattle, but I don't know that any of these work near the automotive area. Okay, so I'm going to just do Amazon Automotive and see, by chance, do I have any firsts? So look, without firsts, it's 5,250. That's huge. But just my first, I want to see if I know anyone. And it looks like he's a forklift operator at Amazon, so that didn't do much good. Okay, so the odds of you knowing someone are slim. And I don't want to just open it up to first, seconds, and thirds. That's just everyone else, right? So stop what you're doing. That's step one. Just happen to see if you know anyone. Now I go right to my favorite. Sometimes I just go here first, by the way. So here's the advanced and my advanced screen. Now I don't need a keyword. So first I'm going to start you right here. You're looking for people in Amazon. And always change this one to current. That gets rid of all the ex-Amazon people. I'm also going to pick people, well, I don't care where they work, actually. I don't care where they go to school, but I do want automotive in their title. And notice how this pops up again, and I love this. I go to current. I don't care if they worked for Amazon Automotive 5 years ago. I don't want to see them. And feel free to put, you can repeat automotive or buyer, but I'm going to leave that blank. You can always come back and add things, and I don't care who they are, but that's all I'm going to do right now. So good, we got 68 people who have automotive in their current title.
Dana, it seems like we're having some technical difficulties. We can't hear you anymore.
I'm sorry. Okay, let me just go back then. Thank you. I'm glad you chimed in. I wish I knew but I think I know where I signed off. So I'm going to go back one step. I want you to never, ever, ever hit this connect button because it won't let you personalize the message. So we found 68 prospects, great people, and you may be tempted to just go click, 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 click. Don't do it. I opened up Mike's total profile and read about him and his great background, and now I hit only this button, the one next to his picture with his full profile, and that's when I always tailor a message, even if he was my best friend's brother. It doesn't matter. So I go and I click here, my latest job, and I always wipe this boring message out. So don't be one of those people that just sends this stupid message. So Mike, I'm in your industry. You have a great background, and I'd like to connect here. So this isn't the place to ask them for a sales call, to pitch your wares or anything, but your whole mission is to make it as personal and nice so that he connects back. So I'm not going to send this because he'll wonder, who is this person? And then you click send invitation. So make this a habit. And by the way, you don't get this box on your phone, so don't use your phone for the LinkedIn app to connect. Okay, so only your PC or Apple or Mac, right? So that's just one guy. Now, what's magical about it is, okay, I found Mike, and I love this section, people also viewed, because here's even more senior people or other people in automotive. But you'll find them all. I'm going to go back, and remember, we typed automotive as their title and current, Amazon current. Okay, and then we found lots of great people. Now, if I want you to first prepare like go through this and see, oh, there's some more senior people. Here's some people you don't want to connect with, but try to find your buyer. As a matter of fact, play with this and see if I'm going to add the word buyer, what happens. So here's Darren again. He's a manager. So he used to be a senior buyer at Amazon, and now he's something else. So Amazon, by the way, doesn't use the word buyer very much, but as you can see there, they call them vendor managers. But you'll learn so much by opening up these profiles, reading about them, and then professionally connecting with them. Then you wait until a few days, hopefully, under your flag in LinkedIn in the top right corner, and you will see who's connected back with you. So I just connected with Elena, and you can see that I know now she connected back with me. She is now a connection. That's what you want to get back from Darren, from any of these potential target customers or networking people. So I invite all of you, by the way, feel free to connect with me at the end. I'll give you my LinkedIn as my name, and practice only finding me, but never hitting any of these connect buttons. And same with, there's a section called People You May Know, and it is so tempting to just go click, 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 click. Don't do it, because then when I go to my pending invitations, here I'm going to show you someone. Let's see what she did. I'm going to pick on her. Okay, so this person wants to connect with me, but there's no message. If there was a message, it would be like that little sound box up here. So she did what I just told you not to do, is just kind of click, click, click. Okay, I'm going to accept her because I'm an open networker, but I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be better than that. So now that you know that, let's just do that again. Is we went advanced is your best button, and this could hold true for any company. If you wanted to find, what other company did I just read about? Oh, I'm going to show you one more, another one on to find Amazon. Let's find someone in the Amazon automotive again, and automotive current, and you went to Kalamazoo. Okay, so a great way to connect with people is if they're part of, you could type Yang up here too if it's in their profile, or Apex. But what if you have an alumni and no one's leveraging their alumni network? I'm picking Kalamazoo because I like the name. I did not go there. I just think it's fun. And so I'm picking, hey, does anyone work in Amazon Automotive who went to Kalamazoo? Because, boy, they would take your phone call in a second. So check this out. Michael, he's a vendor manager at Amazon, okay, and he's in automotive equipment and tools. He's been in that role for a year. He's been another year and 5 months in retail automotive, and blah, 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 blah. You can read about his background. You can tell when he went to Kalamazoo. This is a guy who will take your connection in a second. Now, look, it says send Michael InMail. Don't use InMail, and don't pay for the premium service of LinkedIn. Everything I'm showing you is free. But just do the drop down and do connect. That's your connect button. Sometimes it's just hidden that way. And you know, Michael, you can say classmate, or you can say, here I am at your company, your latest job, but cross this out and hey, Michael, great to meet a fellow Hornet. I think they're the Hornets. I looked it up before this call. I cheated because I didn't know what they were. A fellow Hornet, and then you keep writing, okay? And he said, really like to connect with you after after this LinkedIn thing. You send an invitation, and you wait, and he will connect back, and then you have his email address. This is the magic, is that now that I'm connected with Elena, the contact info lights up. Now, Elena's a great example. She works at a company, but she has only her personal email. So I want you to have both or put in your professional email. But that's okay. If she has it in here, that means that I can contact her. So that's why I want you to connect professionally and then grab that email and write to them. Boom. Get out of LinkedIn. Okay? So I can go on LinkedIn and the power, but that's really what I wanted to show you today is prospecting, finding business alliance partners, finding mentors, network, all of that is yours at your fingertips. So what did I do? I checked my own network. I did advanced search. I built my target list. I wrote down those names, Michael, etc., and I prepared my introduction. Write them beforehand. Write them in Word, as a matter of fact, so you have no typos. And then make the connections professionally, always with a customized message. Wait for them to accept, and then, boom, start asking them for a 30-minute phone call. 30 minutes is magical, by the way, everybody. You'll get a way higher response than an hour. And closing on LinkedIn, don't use it for emailing people and trying to get business done. Don't use it even for setting up meetings through LinkedIn. Do that via email. Don't use it for following up on meetings. Hey, Michael, it was great talking to you. Do that in email. And never broadcast to all of your connections, of course. That's spamming in LinkedIn. So now we'll go real fast because that was really the meat of some stuff I wanted to show you, but I want to show you more, is asking for help with a purpose. Too many of us are shy about why we're calling, and I want you to use your pitch and then really be able to say, hey, with confidence, hey, I want to be a vendor for Amazon Automotive. Can you tell me how? Instead of, gee, I want to talk to you about a business opportunity, blah, blah, blah. So rehearse, prepare it, be ready and be proud with what you're doing and who you are. Now, face-to-face, you all know this, but I gotta say it because it happens all the time. You need that strong handshake, eye contact, and a strong voice like I don't have today. And practice in front of a mirror. Practice what you're going to do and say. I know it's old school. I'm old school. But these work. These still work. Now here's a checklist. You don't have to write it down because I'm giving you the PowerPoint and to steal everything you can. Always have a pen and a pad and a pen. You know, I'm surprised even at the Yang event in the Apex, I'm walking around and if you, excuse me 1 second, I'm going to clear my throat. It's so hard to remember everybody. So write things down. I saw this person, met that person, saw them give a speech, and then you can follow up. Always have even some old school hard copy with you. It's great. Have tons of business cards. I know some of you ran out by the end of Apex, but bring tons. Buy boxes of them. They're cheap, and if your company won't, then pay for them. All of $12. Okay. Always have a list of your target prospects, your alliances, companies, people you want to meet. Know who you're targeting. Of course, the right attire is really important. Not as important over the phone, but over the phone, have in front of you a scripted voicemail message. It's wonderful because odds are you're going to get voicemail and you won't flub it up. And then use that same script if the person answers. And then a watch. It's nothing worse than asking for 30 minutes and then just running way over. It's your responsibility to drive the meeting and be respectful of their time. So these are just some of the basic little faux pas that happen. And then here's where networking breaks down. This is why when I started, said, oh, networking is just so bad right now. And a lot of it is because there's just no follow-up. And this is where all the action happens. This is where the fun happens. Unfortunately, this is where bad form turns really ugly. So here's the definition of networking. or connecting, and it's the process of building a two-way relationship for the long term. So when any of you don't follow up or you just disappear, that is not networking. That is using. And that's what gives us a bad reputation. That's what gives the word networking a bad rap, because when it's done poorly, it is just using. So if you connect with someone, put it in your calendar for 3 months later, hey, drop an email to Susan James. Yeah, and then just do that. You'll wake up and you'll have an appointment to yourself to just stay in touch. Give them an update on how it's going. Especially in sales, of course, you wouldn't wait 3 months. You would have it in your CRM solution, or you'd have it in your calendar to follow up 3 times after the first meeting. So here's a trick. When you meet someone at a conference or on LinkedIn, that is not networking. All you did was build a database data point. Now your networking begins. So that's a follow-up, and that's then 3 times after that. You're not going to be a pest. You're doing your job. So at the end of every day, what do I do? And what are the best networkers doing? At the end of the day, send a thank you note. It's great meeting you here, or thank you for connecting with me on LinkedIn. Send that email. And your thank you note includes some insights. Have a next step. Hey, I'll keep you posted about my progress, or I'll send you more materials when we have our next launch of our brand new product. I'll be in touch. So, and here's another key. Let's say Katie introduces you to Sam, and you go meet with Sam and you actually get some business done, or you don't. I want you to always follow up with Katie and say, thank you. My progress with Sam has been great. I really appreciate you setting us up. So never forget everyone on the journey, because people will be glad to help you again and again. But if you just disappear and then you call Katie back in about 6 months and say, hey, I need your help again, then you're just using her. And she'll remember, and you'll know it. You'll feel kind of badly. So again, don't be that person. So when you meet an interesting person, here's some steps. Just have it on a little 3x5 card next to your PC if you want. But did you send the LinkedIn invitation? Did you write a formal email within 48 hours that you enjoyed meeting them? So even if you have their business card and you met them, get them into your LinkedIn network as well. You don't need to wait to see if they connect, because you already have their email, which is great. Now you can Bing or Google their name. I always do Bing because I'm a Microsoftie, but you can find additional information, research them, follow them, and enter it into your contacts if you use Outlook contacts or any other contact system or CRM at your company. Here's some quick tricks, and then we'll take questions too. Is get into a rhythm. I want you to make networking like breathing. So be sure to block time in your calendar. Maybe it's Monday morning from 8 to 9, or hump day at 3 to 4, that you're just managing your professional network. And these are all kinds of ideas of what you can do in that hour. It's not just LinkedIn, but maybe you're sending someone a note, an email. You're following up with someone again. Just keep it in motion and you will get the hang of it. Closing on common mistakes are good old bloopers. Remember, at events, you are there to listen and learn and write down things, of course. So identify key individuals, try to shake their hand, try to get a business card, but don't hang around too much. And then I want you to be interested, not interesting. Now, naturally, if they engage with you, have your short version ready prepared, including why you're at that event, why you want to talk to them. So it's okay to be bold, but don't be the one who's talking too much and trying to be too interesting. Okay, this is a standard faux pas. Is, let's say I'm at an event and you come up to me and I just spoke the keynote, and you say, hey, I'd like to talk to you. We engage. Then you say, hey, I'm out of business cards, but can you, here I wrote my email on this piece of paper, will you email me? So I want, or Dana, hey, can you follow up with me in a couple weeks? So you drive the bus. I want you to be the product and drive the network process. You send the LinkedIn. Don't wait for them to. You send the email. So take accountability. Say, may I send you an email and propose some times for us to talk? They're going to say yes, because most people don't follow up. What's the downside, right? But you're going to be that great person who sends it within 48 hours. I'm going to just mention dress, especially with Skype and things like this, GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar. At least be prepared from the waist up to put on your webcam, and because that's a great way to have meetings now, and it's more and more common. You may be setting them up yourself all the time. So just look like a great professional to do business with. And this is where people do become pests at events, is following people around. Kind of weird, I know, it's creepy. Now, here's another one. If you contact someone 3 times and they just don't respond, move on. I call it the law of 3s. They're just not that into you. So try an alternative approach, and that's when you go back to LinkedIn, your advanced search, and find 6 more people. You'll never run out of possibilities. And don't get frustrated. Don't take it personally. But a lot of executives and people just don't reply, and I think that's bad form on their part, but what can I do? Okay, I'm going to do one thing and click. Okay, I'm going to check the question manager again. Okay, let's, I've got a great question on LinkedIn, and then I'll go to homework too, but I do want to answer this one. Is how much weight does a personal recommendation on LinkedIn do for you? Is it worth asking for those, or does it matter? So I want to just go back to answer that real quickly, because I think all of you, your recommendations as professionals are really important, but only certain ones, and I'm going to show you what we mean for everybody. So I'm going to go to, let's see, who should I find? Okay, a friend of mine, Bill. Let's just see what he has in his profile. He took out all his Microsoft stuff. That Bill, why did he do that? Okay, let's see, Peter. These are just all these friends I know. Okay, in LinkedIn profile, here's a buddy of mine, this is a recommendation by Dan Young. So this is what the person who asked the question meant. Now, there are 2 types of recommendations that most people get confused. So the answer is yes, for each of you, you should have 1 recommendation per job, not per company. Like just, he should have a recommendation here and a recommendation, but he has 1, at least he has 1. I don't want you to pay any attention to, oh, he doesn't have any, endorsements. And I'm going to show you those, but funny, he doesn't have any. So it's those little pictures, and it's friends, patting friends on the back. These are just friends. So these are called endorsements. Don't ask people to do these. Ask ex-managers and peers to write recommendations that should be found in the body. So that was a great question. And yes, recommendations are always helpful. And your business partners like reading them too. Here we go. And please ask more questions. Prepare to network. So here's some basic homework things. Assure your profile is at 100%, and LinkedIn has a way to track that. Always have them in your trunk of your car, wherever. They're all over my purse. I always have these little pen and paper, tiny notebooks, whatever. Have a clear goal when asked, what are you here for? What are you interested in? What can I do for you? And do register for networking events and get there early, the best time for events. If you go to some, even 1 a month, just Just get in the habit of going to some, but get there right when it opens and work the room, because once the event starts, you're stuck with the person to your left and right, and that's over. I've already mentioned put the time in your calendar, put it aside to make your LinkedIn contacts, everything to boost your career and your profession and your business success. Now I'm going to open this up for questions, but I do encourage you, especially since you're probably super tired of hearing this raspy voice, of contacting me with any questions via email. Please connect with me, so just first name, last name, on LinkedIn, and practice with me making it a customized message by opening up that full profile. You're free, of course, to follow me anywhere with career advice and all that, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to help you be a great employee for your great companies and move up and up because of your performance. And we need people to be successful. We can't do it alone. So thank you so much. And I, again, apologize for something that's out of my control, but we wanted to, of course, have this anyway with this laryngitis. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the question pane. And as you bring on questions, I'll answer them. Here's one that just came in. Thank you. How much detail should be shared on a LinkedIn profile? Excellent. And here's my simple answer is everything that's on your resume. It actually should match your resume word for word. Just copy, paste, copy, paste. It is an electronic resume. In the old days on LinkedIn, when it first came out, it was sort of a high-level executive summary. Well, that's crap, because you shouldn't have to send someone a Word document or PDF that is, and it helps your customers and everyone see all the greatness that you've done. So copy and paste your resume, and you get to add a summary section, which can talk more about your current role, your current company too. Excellent question. I'm going to scroll back and see if there were any earlier while you're typing in new ones. And you can ask a question about anything, even if we talked about it today or didn't. We're sort of unplugged right now. So whatever comes to mind about your career, about I can also do another LinkedIn role play if anyone wants to give me a situation. I will live try to find you a person and teach everyone else how to do it at the same time. So if you give me any details. Ah, good. I have a person who just asked me to add them on LinkedIn. So I hope it's not what I think, but I'm not going to call your name out either. No, my LinkedIn is right here, and I'm inviting you to practice with me and contact me. So you know who you are, Mr. S. Last name, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, because you actually only gave me your Gmail email as well, and that doesn't help for me to find you on LinkedIn. So I'm going to let you find me. Anything else? And Katie, I'll take it away.
Yeah, okay, Dana. I think we're getting to the end of our time, so I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us and presenting, even though you're feeling well, but losing your voice, under the weather. So as always, thank you everyone for attending. Please be on the lookout. We have recently announced the Yang Leadership Conference, so that will be happening May 5th and 6th in San Antonio. More information on that is available on our website, as well as 2017 regional meetups are being announced as they become planned. So go to autocare.org/yang, as always, to find more information. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, everybody.